principle and principle of own, and we wish your consideration on that point. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Opposed.
Mr. Chairman, members of the committee, my name is Jim Gingery, and I'm the Executive Director of the Montana Medical Growers Association. I've had the pleasure to be here before and also had the pleasure to participate in the work group session hosted by Representative Sands as Chairman of the Health and Human Services Interim Committee. So I've been here for a long time over the last months trying to help guide, as was previously mentioned, in terms of providing some guidance and education in terms of what's really going on out there. And let me address the bill specifically. First of all, unfortunately, it does accomplish exactly what Senator Essman had asked for when he presented it in the Senate Judiciary. He was looking for a bill that would delegitimize medical cannabis in the state of Montana. Senate Bill 423 does that. He also hoped that it would reduce the patient count significantly down to an arbitrary number of close to 2,000. I don't know when legislators became physicians and when they decided on what the right number of patients any appropriate medicine might be good for, but this bill does accomplish both of those. It also accomplishes some other things that I just want to share with you as it does in its current state. It calls for deliveries of any product to go through a courier service rather than a storefront. Well, first of all, we have to look at the courier service. It would mean that probably there'd be between 300 and 600 phone calls per day with only 2,000 patients, based on the way patients currently purchase their medicine, because they don't buy ounces at a time when they go to a storefront, by the way. They buy 2, 3, and 4 grams at a time because that's what their budget allows. So if we say 3, 4 deliveries, 8 deliveries for those 2,000 patients per month, we're talking over 300 a day that local law enforcement will have to take those calls, and I don't believe that in the physical budget that's been accounted for. Let's talk about the storefronts for a second that the bill specifically eliminates. Right now, a patient goes to a storefront and has an opportunity to look at different types of medicine because all cannabis is not created equal. There are a lot of different strains that do different things for different people. So therefore, if a provider is only allowed to grow for 1, 2, or 3 patients, or 4 if they're all married together, then how do they actually have different varieties for those patients? Well, the only other answer to that then is caregiver to caregiver exchange. Because quite frankly, not everybody can grow all varieties if you're limiting the number of plants that can be grown. So technically, 423 is totally unworkable from a practical standpoint, in addition to putting, thousands and thousands of Montanans out of business. The bill also calls to, for instance, I have one patient who is a stage 4 brain cancer patient that goes to Billings for treatment. She happens to live in Wyoming. And during her treatment, this is the only medicine that she can take, so she would now be prohibited from being able to do that. Why would we go after the 80 patients that have an out-of-state license, or they come from out of state? Why would we go after those 80 patients? Doesn't make any sense. We're certainly not solving problems with 423. Certainly, Representative Noonan's amendments help a little bit, but I don't know that it can be corrected enough to actually make it workable in the real world. On paper, it looks good, sounds good, but in reality, it isn't. As was also mentioned, we've spent a lot of time trying to provide guidance to the legislature. We've organized to the point that many of the things that were discussed during the work group by law enforcement, we've already implemented. Most of the caregivers track their product on a gram-by-gram basis. We've eliminated the black market. We've reduced it significantly. Not fully. We're working on that. So what you still have an opportunity to do is move away from Senate Bill 423 and adopt the gray bill. You all have a copy of it, and I appreciate your consideration. Thank you.